Misfits. Midtown. Misfits. Midtown. Misfits. Midtown. Misfits. Midtown. Misfits. Midtown. Misfits. Midtown. Misfits.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome back, Misfits, and welcome back to a new episode. Today, we are having another Misfit conversation.
Yeah, just a little chat.
Yeah, a little chitty chat. These are unscripted.
Yeah.
And fully tabletless, you know?
Yeah.
No notes. That's usually when we have our
notes.
notes and our questions and stuff, but I don't know. These are off the cuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's new territory for us.
Yes.
Even though we chat, obviously, offline, whatever. Off the recording or whatever, like we don't normally record ourselves just like, hey, what do you think about X or whatever.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to incorporate some of that.
Because the tangents that we go on, like on the episode, those happen in real life.
Yes,
but they're also much longer.
Yeah, we try to
and like the
those.
rabbit hole is real deep. So we try to like not do that to you, so you don't have to listen to it. But if they're unscripted, it might be dangerous.
Yeah.
And it might all be a tangent. You never know.
Yeah. It might be helpful.
But we're having another Misfit conversation. This is Misfit conversation number 2, and we're talking about the Sabbath.
Right.
Yes,
right.
we're bringing it back from the episode that we did. Do you remember what it was called?
No.
Yeah, we did an episode. I don't know what it was about, but we were talking about the Sabbath, and so we're having a conversation about the Sabbath.
Just
this is why we should have notes.
This is why we normally have notes.
Yeah.
Insert title here. No.
Exactly. We'll link it below and stuff, and it'll make sense. Especially if you listen to it, right? If you're one of our avid listeners and you listen to it, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. But basically we're talking about how like a lot of the world perspective is like you have to hustle and always be working and like, nonstop.
Oh, that's what the episode was. Yeah. It was I can't remember what it was called.
I can't remember the name.
Jeez. But anyway,
it's like at the tip of my tongue, but I can't.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Sabbath. Or if it's really important to you, the person that's listening, I can actually pause this and do it, and then you won't even know.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me see. Some people are yelling like, just check your phone. Our phones are recording for the reels.
We're
so
very
we don't
like
actually have
high
our
tech
phones
here, and like, you know, we have a really cool setup where we use our own phones.
Oh, episode 107, just say no and take a nap.
Yes.
There we go. That's not a very common episode title for us, so there was no way we were going to remember that. Yeah. So, piggybacking off of that, we're going to talk about Sabbath. So, we're parting from the premise that the Sabbath, Jewish or Hebrew word for Sabbath is Shabbat, right? Say it with me, Shabbat. Use it in a sentence. Hey, are you Shabbating today?
Did you Shabbat this week?
But Shabbat means essentially to cease, right? So that's just essentially what the word means, and then rest is just a product or the fruit of ceasing. So that's what we're going to talk about. So Yadi, how do you Shabbat? So Shabbat,
resting, it doesn't come as easily to me, or I don't practice it very much, which is something I'm still learning. I think we all kind of struggle with that if we're wanting to stay busy or we're trying to do different things, but the main way I do it is usually on the weekends, because I do have a Monday through Friday kind of job. And Saturdays are usually my like take it slow, kind of pace myself, don't put a lot on my calendar type of thing if I can, because again, like weekends are kind of when you do stuff. So sometimes you do. But if I can help it, my Saturday, or at least most of my Saturday, I'll kind of have a slow morning, try to rest as far as sleep, right? Like try to get good sleep.
Yeah, sleep in. No alarms.
No alarm, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I really try to avoid the alarm on a Saturday. And then, just kind of have a slow morning with God, like really, if I didn't get a chance to do like good, like deeper Devo during the week, try to put that in on a Saturday, because I really want to just kind of let me get into that, right? And just try to like not plan too many things on like a Saturday. That's typically kind of like take it more chill. So that's like what most of my rest will be, is usually
so you usually Sabbath on Saturdays, because tell the people what you do on Sundays.
Well, on Sundays I do volunteer at church, so I'm there. I do have to put an alarm, and I do have to be there early, usually by 8 a.m. And so I'm there we have 2 services, so I'm there for both services, and I stay to like pack up and everything. So I usually don't get home
because it's a mobile campus, for those of you that know what that is.
It's a setup tear down type of situation. So Saturdays I do have to get up earlier, and I'm out of my house, till at least 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So even though I would say I do have some, rest on Sundays, because it is like my family time usually, but the morning is usually pretty busy. So I do try to get my rest in on Sundays before my work week starts as well, and try to spend time with my family. So I feel like part of your rest should also like include things that you like to do, so like I like spend time with my family, so I usually do that on Sunday nights, and just kind of a couple hours with like my parents and my sisters, and whoever's around, I guess.
Or babysitting.
You
are a part-time babysitter.
Yeah, sometimes. Yes. But I try not to do the babysitting part on Sunday. I just like to play with them and be cute.
Okay,
and, like,
give him back.
Okay, bye.
yes, Titi loves you too.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess it's kind of split a little bit, but yeah,
that's a good balance though. So for me, I tend to, I think it's a little bit different, but so here we go. On Saturdays, again, #no alarms. It's a beautiful thing. And that's like one of my favorite parts of the weekend. It's just like, you don't have to set an alarm, and I can sleep till however long I want. It's great. And my Saturdays typically look like, I wake up late, maybe like 9, 10, depending on how late I go to sleep. Today is Friday. We usually record on Fridays. So depending on how long we go is how early we wake up the next day. So I wake up around 9 or 10. And you mentioned slow mornings. I love me a slow morning. Like you can just take your time to do everything. It's a beautiful thing.
I don't have to rush out, grab my things.
No, you
get
don't
in my
have
car,
this like list of
things
things that you have to do. It's spectacular. So I wake up. And again, slow morning. I usually like to just wake up in silence. I don't turn on music or the TV or anything. And depending on the day, I might walk my dog because I have a dog. When I walk my dog, I intentionally, again, I don't take my phone. I don't listen to music or anything like that. I intentionally try to make it time that I spend with God. If I'm chewing on anything, or if I have a question, or I'll just like sing whatever part of a worship song I remember or something. But I just try to do it in silence. And so I do that. Then I come back. I kind of shower, get ready for the day. And then typically I do my Devo as soon as I wake up. And my Devo right now on the weekends, it looks like there's like this YouTube video that does like Bible classes, I guess. Okay. And it's free. And of course it's on YouTube. Anyway, that comment wasn't necessary. I don't have a YouTube paid subscription. No, but the videos, it's just I say it's free because the classes are so dense and so amazing, and the fact that it is free is kind of outrageous.
Like it's to the level where you would pay
it's amazing, to the point where I gave an offering to them because I was like, I don't know how you're putting this off for free, but like here's some money.
But like I'm
being blessed from this. Yeah. So I started doing that, and it's like every video is it covers like at least one chapter of that particular book, and it's about an hour. Okay. So I do that, and that's been amazing because for me, I like to watch TV. I mostly only watch YouTube, but I equate, because during the week I have so many things to do that I tend to not watch TV, right? I usually have my TV on, but Spotify is just playing in the background during everything that I'm doing. Yeah. But on the weekends I can catch up on podcasts or sermons or whatever I've missed throughout the week. And for some reason, in my mind, I equate watching TV with resting, right? Yeah. So now, like, even my Devo is part of that, right? Because I feel like I'm still watching a video. It's still entertainment, but I'm like actually still deep diving into the Bible. So anyway, I do that for a little bit. I catch up on podcasts, and I just hang out, watch TV or whatever. At some point I eat, and then I go to church on Saturdays. I actually go to church on Saturdays at 5. So then I do that. And then after that, me and my boyfriend usually go to dinner or something. And then we call it a night. And that's it. And then we go to our individual homes, for, if anyone was wondering. And then Sundays, again, slow morning typically, which is amazing. And Sundays are more of my like housework days or whatever. That's when I do my laundry, clean the house, and do all those things. I tend to, at this point on Sunday, I've watched so much TV on Saturday and caught up on so much stuff. Then on Sunday, I'm just like, I may watch one thing and I'm like, oh, that's enough. Yeah. So then I do my Devo, regular Devo, just read the Bible or whatever. Yeah. And I tend to like catch up on books, or I take Sundays to prepare for the week for our podcast, right? Mm-hmm. Like making the posts or whatever it is that we have to do, preparing for the episode that's upcoming and stuff. And just do kind of like housework and stuff. Sometimes we might go out and do something. But other than that, it's like real slow too. It's nice.
Yeah, the podcast thing is probably mine too. I usually have 1 or 2 like episodes that I have on my, that's not true, I have like 20 episodes on my like to watch list.
Yeah,
but I usually have like 1 or 2 that I'm like, hey, these are the ones I want to watch next. And kind of to like the same, like I feel like that's part of me resting.
Yeah,
like I'll just put the podcast on, make myself my breakfast, my coffee, and I'll just like chill and like listen and learn, and just like, because I'm still like sitting on my couch and still like taking it easy. I'm not on my phone, I'm not doing any of that. I'm just trying to absorb like what's going on, you know, like trying to learn something or hear some good advice from somebody or something like that. So
yeah,
that's like part of my
because it's interesting because when we think about the Sabbath and we've like watched the sermons and listened to the podcast and stuff, Sabbath kind of looks different for everyone, right? And I was you know about this, and I was listening to The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, which that book is amazing. Please go buy it. It's amazing. But anyway, he was saying how on the Sabbath, like he's a family man, right? He's married, he has a couple kids or whatever. And on the Sabbath, he's very intentional about like spending time with his wife and his children. And they have plans to do whatever it is that they do. But his thing specifically is he'd make sure he doesn't do screens on the weekends, right? Okay. So he leaves his phone at home and he doesn't watch TV, and it's all about spending time with his kids. So there's all the activities and dinners and stuff that they plan. But what I'm saying is like it just looks different for everybody. Yeah. I don't know, people probably like some people spend it on the couch watching TV. Other people are like, oh, this is when I go play my team sports with my friends, or this is when I go out to brunch with my friends. Exactly. I was gonna say brunch, or I don't know, hiking or whatever it is that other people do. But yeah, for me, Sabbath is just like, man, how much time can I lay on this couch and just chill, right?
And I think it's also like a reset, right? Like we're trying to like refill and kind of like, what are ways that I can like recharge myself for the next week? Because like there's a lot of things that we do that we're giving and giving and giving, and what are things that I can do like physically or mentally to really like rest, right? And that's where I come from as well. Like that, those are the things that I try to focus on. Like what are things that I'm not like mentally trying to like putting out, right? I'm trying to like think, what's the next thing I have to do? Like for work, like I'm always having to like, what's the next person I have to talk to? What's the next report I have to write? Like all these different things that when I'm, you know, it's the weekend and I'm resting, it's like, what can I receive? What can I put back in? What are things that bring me peace? To help me like reset my mind, my spirit, my, you know, those types of things. Yeah, because I mean, to the best of my ability, I try not to do like any quote unquote errands on the weekends. I try to get those out of the way during the week. So then on the weekends, I feel like there's nothing that I have to do, right? And when it comes to the word Shabbat and the fact that it means cease, it's about ceasing your normal activities, right? So whatever your normal activities are, putting those aside and then doing other things that your normal activities don't allow you to do, right? So like if you enjoy painting, or if you enjoy walking in the park or going to the beach, or like, yo, on Monday through Friday, I love to read. I don't have time to read a book. And then on the weekends you can read a book, but it's just like literally about resting, but resting in God and enjoying the fruits of your labor, right? And also knowing that I don't have to work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day for me to provide for myself, because God's got me. But yeah, and it's interesting too, this is a fun fact, when, you know, God created the heavens and the earth and we went through the whole 7 days and all the things, the only day, like in the Hebrew calendar, because of course they go by the Bible, the only Hebrew day that has a name is the Sabbath. Every other day of the week is actually just called by its number. So the 21st day of the 8th month, and then 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, Shabbat. And then 29, 30, Shabbat. And then so on and so forth. Yeah. So I think that's very like, it's important. Intentional. Yeah. Like it literally has a name. All the other ones God was like, yeah, the 3rd. What are you doing the 5th?
Yeah, exactly. The 5th of what?
What about Shabbat?
Of the 9th month.
Nothing.
Exactly. It was like, I can't do it on Shabbat. Yeah. I'm Shabbating.
I'm Shabbating.
I should make a sticker.
Shabbat.
Shabbating. But yeah, I even put it on my calendar. Like, I understand that the Saturday is the Sabbath, but I put it on my calendar on my phone, so I see it and it triggers something in me of like, oh, like not only something to look forward to, but like this is when you rest. Like this is the day that you take.
Or even if you're like, hey, I'm trying to plan something.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to put that on the time that I'm resting, where I'm being purposefully resting. Obviously, we can't always avoid that, but you try to, right? Like you try to like be intentional of your resting time. So like if I don't have to put it between the times of, you know, when I wake up and 3 o'clock, I'm not going to put anything on there because I want to be intentional and rest.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And also, we do understand that if you don't have a traditional like Monday through Friday job, then your Sabbath, your Shabbat-ing is maybe on a Tuesday. But just being intentional, if it's unavoidable, of course, being intentional of having a day where you cease your regular activity and just rest in God, spend time with God, spend time with your family, your friends, just rest your brain. We did that one episode, remember, and we were talking about the brain and how it's probably the same episode.
It might have been the same
where
one,
we were talking about how we're constantly just, like you said, inputting stuff into our brain like it's a computer, but then we never sit and rest to let the mind do the other part, which is the output. Like, hey,
processing that information.
This triggered you, this made you mad, this made you happy. Hey, you haven't slept more than 6 hours for the past 2 weeks. Maybe you should sleep more.
Process that.
Like stuff like that.
Like acknowledge that and give your brain enough time to like see that and perceive that and react to it and not just go.
Yeah, it's important. And something that I started doing more recently, and this is just me just telling you about my own life. I'm not great at processing things because I do have the type of brain where I'm just like going from the next thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing, and I don't take time to process things. And so I've changed that and implemented something different. So now, because I typically journal like here and there, usually when I'm having like a rough time with something or I can't verbalize what I feel, so I write it out and then I can process it. But what I started to do is I got a devotional, and I'm intentionally like going through the devotional to see what it like sparks in me, journaling about it, and then going into reading the Bible. Because I feel like doing that, I'm just giving myself time to process and like literally just like be in that moment and see what comes up. Because I don't give myself time to do that. Because even when you read the Bible, you're still ingesting information, right? And you can take time to be like, oh, what does that mean, God? Or like, wait, I feel like I read that somewhere else or something like that. But it's still...
You're still receiving.
Yeah.
You still need time to process.
So I don't have a lot of times where I'm just like not sitting in silence, but like moments where I'm reflecting. That's what I don't have. Because I do. Marinate. Silence is important, and I try to do that as much as I can. But reflecting. So I'm reflecting more.
And also like we understand there's seasons in your life where you, like we're talking about, like we try to take a whole day or like half a day. We understand that's not usually possible. Like maybe you only have an hour or 2 hours, but I think it's good. Like we said, like make it an intentional hour where if it's something that you don't normally do or you enjoy doing, that, you know, kind of helps you, reinvigorates you, gives you energy, gives you peace, those types of things. Like, you know, if you liked art, then you would do that, you know, like, hey, let me take 30 minutes, let me take an hour and just focus on that to help you recharge. We understand sometimes you have little kids or, you know, other responsibilities, and, you know, we're blessed that we can take more than just a couple hours. But I think even at that, like on a day-to-day, I try to take, like when I get off of work, I try to take at least like 15 minutes where I'm just like kind of the silence thing. Like I just sit there because I'm like, I just need to decompress from the day, especially if it was a rough one. And I just need like a good 10-15 minutes, you know? So like, or if I'm at the office and I'm driving, sometimes I won't put music or anything. Because I'm I've
done the silence.
I don't need the
noise.
noise.
I just need to breathe and listen to nothing. Because there's already too much going on.
Like my brain's already going, and I need those 15 minutes to be like, nothing is entering my brain right now. You know, and if those are the moments that you have to Shabbat, then use those, you know, but be intentional about it. Understand that, hey, I'm doing this because I need to rest. Like my brain needs to rest. My mind needs to rest. You know, I spiritually just need to like have a moment with God in silence and take advantage of those moments.
And man, something you said, because we talk about worship, and we talk about worship being a lifestyle, right? Like a lifestyle of worship, not just a moment of worship or a song of worship. And something you said, like about our new favorite word, Shabbat-ing. Sometimes we don't have the ability to Shabbat a whole day, right?
Yeah.
And so what if we become people that create moments of Shabbat, like you said? Like, I can't take an entire day because I have 3 kids. They're all in sports, and that's what we do on Saturdays.
And I work full time, and I got to get dinner on the table.
You got to do what you got to do. But what if we create a space in our day, every day, where we just call it Shabbat, right? Yeah. And just when you do it, just call it Shabbat-ing because it's so much better. Yeah. But also,
one, it's fun.
Yeah, 1, it's fun. 2, it'll remind you of us. And 3, it'll make me happy.
And 4, you need it. So
yeah. But like, what if that's the challenge with this episode? Like, hey, find 15, however, I'm not going to give it a time, however much time.
Give yourself a lot of time.
Yeah, give yourself a lot of time every single day where you're like, hey, can I talk to you? I'm Shabbat-ing right now. I can't. I need 15 minutes or I need 20 minutes.
Do not disturb on your phone.
But like, create it. Do it every day. And we can create a lifestyle of Shabbat when maybe you don't have an entire day to do it. Yeah. Man, if anything good came out of that episode, that was it right there. Yeah. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's what we have to do because I've noticed that in myself, especially when, like, I don't like to go, when the day is like ending, right? And I'm about to go to bed. I don't like to go from task to task to task to task to pass out, right? Yeah. I like to wind down, right? Yeah. So in a sense of like, I'll turn off the TV early, right? I'll take the dog out. I'll do all the things or whatever. And then I like to sit and like read or, I don't know, do something before I go to sleep.
Less busy, less noisy.
Yes, because if I'm talking to someone or if I'm watching TV and then I'm like, man, I'm exhausted, then I head to my room and I don't even take time. I'm so tired, I can't even pray, right? Yeah, or you fall asleep in the middle of the prayer and then you wake up and you're like, my bad, God.
Or you feel like you're interrupted because you're like, your brain's still winding down.
It's like a whole thing. So, anyway, that's what I mean. Like, just taking time so we can actually do everything that God is calling us to do and do it well. Yes. Right. Another thing that I would suggest is everything that you are doing. Sometimes the things that we're doing are not things that we actually have to be doing, and bringing that to God and being like, God, is there anything on my plate right now that I shouldn't be doing? Yeah. Is there something I'm allotting time to that you don't even want me to be doing, and I'm just wasting my time? Sometimes in my case, he's going to be like, no, you're doing great. Keep going. But he might be like, yeah, that's not important, or that's not important, or do that a little bit less and do this a little bit more or whatever. But like, bring your schedule to God and see what he says.
Kind of present it, and 1, use maybe your common sense, and 2, also bring it to God and be like, hey, it doesn't seem like I'm doing anything that's like hindering my time with you or hindering, different, but I'm not feeling very like at peace or very rested. So like, show me an area where I can like put that aside or replace it with something that is gonna help me. Yeah.
Is there anything I should be doing more of or less of?
Or less of,
and he'll tell you.
Yeah, he'll show you.
Yeah, he'll show you. Be ready for that too, because he might want you to cut something that you like or something. Yeah.
Like social media.
Yeah, I remember I did that one time, like really early on in my walk, and I was like, man, I feel like I don't have time for Devo, and I feel like I just da-da-da-da-da, and God was like, stop watching so much TV, and I was like,
I've gotten that one too.
Oh, wow. Well, I wasn't ready for that.
When we were doing like the 21 days of prayer, I was like, what's the one thing? I was like, God, I can't think of anything. And God's like, TV. And I was like, oh, you're right. Definitely that fills up my evening. So let me cut some of that out.
Yeah. I think what I did was I would watch TV like after work or something, like while I was eating or something. And then I would turn it off at a certain time. Okay. Or once I was eating, I just wouldn't, because when you're eating and you're watching TV, everything takes longer, right? So it was just like, I think I eliminated watching TV while I was eating, and I was just eating, like listening to worship music or something. And then from there, that would go into my Devo time or something. Anyway, he told me that. I wasn't very happy about it. So just be ready just in case he's like, yeah, stop doing this. And you're like, ooh. Yeah. But also be prepared to obey.
I know it's for your good. Like, you guys just trying to prepare your heart and help your life.
So we just wanted to talk about Shabbat and how important it is, and how it's something that we have to learn to build into our lives, because it's important to God, right? He literally created it a holy day and set it apart, and so we should set it apart as well, if for anything, just to honor him, but also because we need it as humans, and we're all going way too fast all of the time.
And I think it's more and more like we live in this world and in this culture, and that's a big part of it, right? Like there's this idea like you have to keep going. So I think if we're wanting to honor God, we need to be able to honor the Sabbath in Shabbat.
Yeah.
and take that time, however small or big that you're able to do. Yeah. But just in honor of, being obedient.
Yeah. Because like you said, it might be something that many people have to grow into.
Yeah,
it's like, I work a lot. I'm always on call. I'm on this. I'm on that. I don't even know where to start. Start with like 5 minutes. Yeah. Just grow into it. The Misfits don't expect anything to be solved in a day.
No.
The Misfits know that everything is a process. Yeah. And if you need help or anything, you can always DM us, email us, or we're on all the places. So reach out and we would be happy to help you or let you know more about what we do. Yeah. But we wanted to talk about Shabbat. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope that this rambly conversation gave you and fed you in some way.
Yeah. Helped you, gave you some ideas.
Yeah, I hope so. That whole Shabbat thing about doing a daily, I was like, I haven't even been doing that. I was like, write that down. And
I feel like maybe sometimes we do, but we don't call it that or we don't acknowledge it. So if we like acknowledge it and like actually make it a thing, then we're more likely to get into that habit.
Yeah, because when you give things a name, you give it power. Yeah, that's why we have to be careful about what we say about ourselves and other people. So call it Shabbat. Give it however many times you have to give it. Set an alarm. Put it in your calendar. Do what you got to do. If you do it, tag me. Like, tag us. Yeah. Put it somewhere so we can see it.
Or
we would love to see it.
Put it in a comment, like, on the Instagram. And be like, hey, I've been doing this.
That'd be awesome. We would love to do that. And, or we would love to see it. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. The episode will be called Shabbat-ing. I just want you to know right now. And, we'll see you next week with another one. As always, this is Fran.
This is Yadi.
We are the Midtown Misfits, and we will see you next week. Bye.